Evening, Khumo family. It's your boy Ryan Gibson here with another Mini Masters. Today we'll be diving into the hot topic, no pun intended, lighting design. So when you think of lighting design, I love that they found something that actually said lighting design. And this is the perfect picture. Look at this picture. So let's take a look at it real quick. You got your director in the foreground, and it looks like a cinematographer here. Got your boom, got some lights here, and then it's this red background. If you were just looking at this, what would this tell you? I don't know about you, but what this tells me is this is going to either be one of two things. It's either going to be a scene where they're going to be making love, or she's going to kill him, or he's going to kill her, but in the position they're sitting right now, more than likely she's going to kill him, or some kind of a power position control. So I look at this and I immediately think to myself, if I took the light from here and I changed it, and I made it brighter, fuller, sunlight, does it change this? Yes, 100% does. So I open up this door to have this conversation. When you guys are thinking about how you set your lights, more often than not, this is, again, along with sound, one of those areas that I think people neglect. They'll just throw lights up, especially new directors, new cinematographers, DPs, what have you. Throw lights up for the purposes of just simply lighting. Throw enough light so that the shadows are off the person's face. Great. But what are you trying to say? What are the lights trying to say? Are we setting a tone for this? What if you need something beneath me? What if it's supposed to be scary? What if it's not? All of these things have to be taken into account when you're setting your lights. I am by no means a DP. Let me just put that caveat out right now. I don't pretend to understand camera angles 100%. That's what I get a good DP for. I want to make sure I have somebody else who understands it 100%. I understand it 15%. That's enough for me to ask questions, and enough for me to hopefully be able to talk to them about what I need. So I know even less about lighting, but I know when light's wrong. I know when it's not setting the right tone. I know when it's not setting the right mood, because I can see it through the lens. You're looking through the lens. You should be, as the cinematographer or even as the director, be able to tell, is this tonally what you want? Because your tone can be set, not just with wardrobe, as it is in this case, or set deck, as it is in this case, the leather chair, the wine, I'm assuming, that's on the little table, the green dress. The whole vibe of this has a very kind of sexual, let me get into it, it's gonna be a long night kind of a moment. But all of this is helped or potentially hurt by how you light it. So you wanna make sure that, for me personally, I always make sure that my DP or my director of photography, cinematographer, that they understand what it is I'm going for. Make sure the communication is great. So when you think about your lighting design, if you're not already a DP, if you're not already a gaffer, if you're not already the person who understands how light works, because that's all a cinematographer, DP, that's all they do. They understand how putting light here will work on a certain person, on a certain scene, putting light there, putting light there, putting light there. They understand how to light snow so it looks like snow, how to light rain so it looks like rain, because there's a way to do it. Somebody fact check me on this. I think for snow, you front light it, you put the light this way, and then it reflects back to camera and you can see it. And for rain, you have to light from behind. Or it could be reversed. I don't remember, because I haven't done it in a very long time. But I remember being on set when they were lighting snow for a particular scene, and I remember thinking, if you light it in reverse, I asked somebody, and they said if you light it in reverse, and I don't know which is right, if it's front or back, but if you light it in reverse, you can't see it on camera. Which is why if you're watching some certain episodes of your favorite shows, it might be raining. But with the way they lit it, you don't see the rain. But you'll see the rain on the side of like a table or something. You'll maybe get one occasional raindrop fall through frame, and you might get that. But for the most part, you won't see it. But you'll look around and go, it's raining, right? But they're not dealing with it because rain's not important to the story right now. It's not important to the scene. They didn't make it rain. So make sure that these are things you should know. So when you're thinking about this, it's less to do with the lights itself and did I get the right lights? Did you get the right people? Have you hired the right people in the right place to do the job that you need? Are they clear? Have you had a conversation? So you thought we were gonna have a conversation about lights? No, We're having a deeper conversation about you as a producer, as a director, as a cinematographer, as a gaffer, as the person in charge of the look and feel of your project, making sure that you have the right people in place. Do they understand temperature? Do they understand how to make something feel warmer, how to make something feel hotter, how to make something feel bright and live, and how to make something feel dark and moody? Can they set the lights in just the right way? Do they also know that every time you move the camera, almost always you have to move the light? Because if the camera moves, the light has to move. Because the camera is looking at the world, the light has to shift as accordingly. And so even if you brought the camera in to get a tight on me, you still have to adjust the lights if you're gonna go medium, because the light that might be hitting me here for the wide may not be the good light you need for the medium. And when you punch in, all of a sudden, my face might look horrible. It just depends on how you set it up, which is why most films are shot with a single camera. You shoot one camera, occasionally they'll do two cameras, but that's usually for the wide shots, just for the masters to get a really interesting angles on the master. I'm not gonna get into all that. So make sure that you guys are paying close attention to who you're hiring, making sure that they have shown you their resume that showcases a lot of really diverse work. That doesn't mean that they have to be a comedic person who knows how to light for comedy, or somebody who only lights commercials or only lights for horror movies. You want to know they can light for anything, because you might want to hire them for something that you're doing that's crazy. You could be hired, like for instance, Clint Eastwood. Everybody knows who Clint Eastwood is, right? Everybody's shaking your head. So Clint Eastwood first was an actor, then he became a director. Currently, he's one of the most sought after directors in Hollywood. Why? Clint Eastwood shoots so quickly. Why? Because he only uses the same people. The same crew he's been using for like 20 years. As long as they're alive, he uses them. They're the same people he's been working with. So that he can walk on set and he'll go, okay guys, I need this, this, and this. But they've already had those conversations. They're already preset. He looks at the camera, he's like, okay, cool. Actors on set, actors come through, and action, and cut. Let's get one more for safety. And then they do it again, and then and moving on. And the team knows where to go, they know how to set up, because they all know the second hand. But that doesn't mean that they're all shooting the same types of movies. These are not the same people. He's not bringing different people on based on what the movie is about, because they all understand the job. And they all understand what is expected of them. And the same thing that was expected of you on the job where it was sci-fi is the same thing that's expected on you to the job where it's a Western, or an urban drama, or a gritty comedy, or a dark comedy, whatever, or a light comedy. It doesn't matter. He just wants you just have to know how to do your job. And as long as you guys do your job, the rest is easy. This is gonna be a really short video today, primarily because at the end of the day, it really is up to you, the producer, the cinematography, the filmmaker, whomever is in charge of making those decisions, to make sure that you're taking your time and hiring the right people for the right job. Because it's so important that you light this thing correctly. Because I'm sure many of you have watched projects where you sit there and go, God, she's so bright. Her face is so bright on one side, or she's so shiny and we're inside. Why is she so shiny? You know, why is it I can't see them? Which is also something I've seen, where you underlight it, where it's like, I said, are they talking? What's happening in the scene? You can't even see the actors because it's so dark. All of these things are skills. Being able to light someone so that they look greasy, but not so greasy like they've been running, and moist and sweaty, but not so sweaty that it's distracting. Unless that's the joke, unless that's the point. Or the other side is to be able to light someone in such a way that it's dark enough that it feels like it's dark, but we still see everything. For instance, this is sort of medium. This sort of lives in a medium space. I'd be interested to see what it actually looks like on this monitor here, or what it actually looks like when they were filming this. But I bet that from this angle, half of his face is in shadow, because she looks like she might be in his light, but she may be behind it, I can't tell. So some of that stuff is, again, about staging, but that's just a function of knowing how this stuff works. And when you know how it works, you make these adjustments. Just as simple, a DP can come in, a director of photography or cinematographer can come in and simply move the light a half an inch and change your whole life. All of a sudden, her face is fully lit, moving it a half an inch over. or put him in the shadow that you want. There was a particular show I remember watching many years, one of my favorite shows in my sci-fi love, Babylon 5. And there was a scene where they were setting lights and ended up accidentally creating a cross effect, like a Jesus cross effect behind the main character, who's supposed to be this kind of iconic figure. And when the DP looked at the camera, he told the director, look, look, look. He said, and the director said, stop! Don't touch anything. Don't touch any lights. Don't move anything. Everybody get out, except for the actors. We're gonna shoot it right now. And they shot it because he knew that that was saying something. The light effect that they accidentally created was saying something about this character who was supposed to be this Masonic kind of Jesus figure, return from the dead. And this was and it was not even something that was planned. It was an accident. But the DP caught it and showed it to the director. The director caught it and was like, this is perfect. Leave it. You couldn't, these are happy accidents. But you have to know what you're doing. So make sure you're hiring people who know what they're doing. A project can be ruined by hiring your best friend. I used to tell people many times before, I have no problem working with my friends. None whatsoever. But I won't hire you to do a job you don't know how to do. What good does that do me? Because then somebody else got to do your job. And usually that means me. So why would I do that to myself? So if I'm gonna hire you, I'm gonna hire you knowing that you can do the job I'm hiring you to do. And if you can't do the job I'm hiring you to do, I'll get somebody who can. I'd rather pay somebody who's a stranger and make them a friend than have a friend and pay them and turn into an enemy. Because that's what'll happen. I promise you, you hire your buddy and your buddy don't know how to do the job and you're paying him or her, he ain't gonna be your buddy after this because you're gonna be mad as hell. Especially if your buddy told you that they could do it. So don't lie about it. This stuff is important. Everything is, it's such a collaboration, film production is such a collaboration that the wrong person in the right position can destroy everything. As much as the right person, even in the wrong position, can mess around and save you at times. But you wanna make sure that you are hiring people who know what they're doing always, and that'll cover you. Just hire people who know the job, vet them, look at their resume, take your time. There is no rush. Make sure that the time is what you set it. So if you tell me that you're shooting in 2 days, my first question to you is, did you take 2 days to get everything together? Is that how much time you really need? And if you say that's the time you have, then that's a choice you made. You've set yourself up. You've created a timeline that you have to hold to. And I hope that you can pull it off. Some people can, some people can't. Smarter move is to ensure that you're getting the right people in the right place so that when you are truly ready, you can go. And then shoot something amazing so that everybody can be inspired and blown away when it's all said and done. All right, thank you all again for taking time out of your busy schedule to check us out. And as always, want to thank the barber every time. The Barber Hair Studios. I want to say hair salon. The Barber Hair Studios in Game City in Habarone. We want to appreciate you so much. They were yelling at me before. I was like, you're saying it wrong. You're saying Habarone wrong. Because apparently I'm putting an A where there should be an O. Apologies to everyone. Habarone, Habarone, Habarone. The American, what can I say? It's not an excuse, but it's an excuse. So I'll do my best to make sure I pronounce it correctly. So again, to thank everyone, CJ, Becky, everyone over at the Barber Hair Studio in Habarone. Thank you guys for continuing to keep me edged up, keep me bald and sexy. I appreciate you. And then you guys, if you ever get a chance, stop over there because their work is impeccable and I always leave with a smile on my face. So thank you guys again for checking us out. Check us out again very soon on next Monday, 7:30, same time, same place. And as always, remember to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to join us and become a member of our Khumo family. See you guys again soon at our next Mini Masters. Good night.